before we dive into looking at collections and acting on the information in them, what I wanted to do is just take a quick step back and show you how to do the things that we've put in vocabulary another way. So the cool thing about our platform is you don't have to use vocabulary, but you've got it if you want it. And remember, the benefits of vocabulary are adding business specificity and simplicity to complex actions. It also allows you, if you're going to reuse something several times, to write it once, change it once, and have it take effect anywhere you use it. So I'm going to show you how to build the two things that we have vocabulary for in this rule another way. First up is calling that machine learning model. So this is an execute rule set vocabulary. And what that means is, and we can go look, this vocabulary is calling a rule set for action. You remember we did this in the previous video. So what if we didn't want to use vocabulary? It's actually pretty simple. We're just going to type exec to get to execute rule set. Which rule set? We want to do the predict churn potential rule set, and we're done. So we could type a plain language phrase like what we've got, or we could do using the telco classifier model vocabulary that we built. Either one is perfectly valid. Now, you saw me pop that to the top. The way I did that is while it was selected, I hit Control and U. Control and U is up, Control and D is down. So as we want to move things up and down on the page, that's one way we can do it. I could have also just taken my mouse and done it as well. I'm going to go ahead and delete the vocabulary. It's still there, and if we later want to put it back in, we absolutely can. All right, the next one we're going to do is this notify the user vocabulary. We're going to build that using the building blocks of the InRule Decision Platform. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to find that vocabulary. It also happens to be an execute rule set vocabulary. And in this case, we have a couple things going on that I want you to pay attention to because it will be different when we write it in our rule without vocabulary. So it says here, notify the user when prediction cause appears in the top number of reasons. And we see there are these placeholders. Now, prediction cause is accepting a list of types. So I've actually built an inline value list to present types to the user so they can choose the one that they want. When we build this in the rule itself, we'll need to replace that with text. There isn't the presentation of a list anymore. That's another nice thing about vocabulary, is that we can do little things like that to enhance the user experience. And we see these parameters are being passed into the rule set that we want to execute. Let's see how this happens when we build it from scratch. So I'm going to come right below the one that we're planning to replace. I'm going to type exe again for execute rule set. Which rule set? It's that evaluate XAI results, and it presents to me the parameters that I need to pass into my rule set. So the first one is the top 10 reasons. We see that. And then here, internet service, this comes from that value list. I instead need to put that here, and so it's internet service all together. Now, why is it all together versus internet space service? Let's go look at value lists, and I'll come down to cause types, and we see there's the value that's being evaluated. And we know from looking at XAI Workbench and our rule application in general that the value is the two words smushed together. But for user friendliness, we can actually put in spaces and display something nice. So here I am displaying internet space service, the value of which is internet service altogether. Okay, so now that we've written this way, we can actually get rid of that action.